with a few adjustments, we got it running. Not sure how long it'll stay on the track for, but yeah, I'm almost a mechanic.
All right, well, I got it jerry rigged up here. It's over my front porch. Has a pretty decent velocity to it. It's too dark to get the string, but in theory, you should have a string that goes all the way out to there. We'll see if we can run over there real quick before my fat ass runs out of steam. Oh, I'm out of steam. I'm out of steam right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is another wheel. There you go. Another wheel right there. So that should be the lap from the Ghost. And then voila, and then back. I don't know how long the wood frame's gonna hold up. It's flexing pretty good with the torque of the motor, but you got a flying Ghost. See if it makes it around this time. Hey, spooky guy. He's flying backwards though. Nice! There he goes! He going! Wow! Oh no! What is that? What the heck? What in the world? Oh my gosh, it's a Ghost! See if it survives. Does it survive? Oh, it survived! Cool. Wow. Oh, caught some wind. It's flying sideways. Cool. It's coming back. All right. Well, I think we're close. Let's see. Had to reposition that mount, but I think it's making it. I think the biggest problem I have now is keeping tension on the string. I think the string keeps stretching, so I need to figure out how to keep tension on it. But I think once I figure out the tension piece, this Ghost is gonna be it's gonna be floating around. Cool. The only bad part is you can see the line. I use a 180-pound test. So 180 pounds. It's strong, but it's also thick. Cool. All right, we'll see how long this lasts, but I changed the mounting points, adjusted the tension, and these guys high five now. What the? How cool is that? Yeah, baby, we got two Ghosts flying around. High fivers. Yeah, baby. Yeah. We're on version 3. She's spinning a little bit faster than normal. So I redid all the bracketry. I gave it more room here so it wouldn't hit the wall. I found out my windshield wiper motor has 2 speeds. So I was on the slow speed, so now I'm on the fast speed. So it's about double the speed now. And I did the same thing on the other side. And then I moved it over 1 pole. I went from this pole over to this pole. So it's a straight line. It's a straight line, so it kind of runs here. So now the idea is I'm going to put a 3rd pole right there and hopefully get it to do a nice big triangle. We'll see what happens here. It hasn't fallen off yet. It seems to be doing pretty good.
Charlie's gonna knock it off there here in a second. Cause yeah, cool. She's made about 30 laps now, hasn't fallen down yet, so I think I got her dialed in. Yay! Axworthy Ghost. This is my third rendition. I'm gonna briefly go over it here. I know some people like details like me, so what I ended up doing for mine is, instead of getting brackets and couplers and everything else, I used some 1/2-inch plywood. So this is version 1.0, and I'll explain here in a second why it's 1.0. But ultimately what I did is my motor had the drive and then the 3 screws. So that's what I did there. Ultimately what this did is it put the motor all the way flush with the board on the side. And then on this side, I ended up using washers and holding it down like this. So that's what held the motor in place. Then on this side, I drilled it out, and I also used a 1-inch whatever fan bit or whatever you call them. And that's just so I can get the axle from the wheel through, and then I put a washer on either side, and then I cinched that down. What ended up happening with this board, the reason why I switched it over is because it's got a little bend in it. So it's bending from your view to the right. Yeah, you can see that. So what ended up happening is, it was, if you looked at it horizontal, the chain was a little kinked, and then it was causing the chain to be loose. So the chain kept falling off, and it just looked like over time the motor was gonna end up torquing it to where it bent too much. So I ended up getting a new piece of plywood, one that was a little straighter. So let me pause there, I'll get a ladder. All right, so if we go up here and take a look here, so the exact same setup as before. There's my mounting holes with my shaft coming out. All I did was just take a couple washers on the sprocket, and then use the factory holes for the sprocket. And then here's the wheel. So I just pushed it through, put washers on either side, tighten it down like I would a normal wheel. And as you can see, I got the height okay. The wheel's probably a little lower, but it works out pretty good. I'm gonna mount the motor. This right here is I was trying to keep the pressure off of it because it felt like it kept torquing, and then it would just give it just little hints of little flexes like that. So I put this up there to try to keep it straight, and since it bends a little bit, it's thinner board. I don't know, I thought maybe it was kind of sort of like a suspension. As far as tension, the string eventually goes, gets loose. So I have this mounted right here to this pillar with just a regular strap, and then I can push the whole thing back or forward depending on where I need it to go. So I got the whole pillar over there as an adjustment, so I can tighten the string up that way. Now the reason why this is version 3.0 is because I had to rebuild the motor, but before I rebuilt the motor, or the platform for the motor, this linkage right here, I wasn't thinking that my first bit was only like 2 foot. Well, the Ghost kept hitting up against the wall, getting snagged and ripped and everything else. So I had to get a way longer piece of linkage there, and I did the same thing way over there. So now looks like the rope's got a little loose here while we were jacking around here, but now it seems to work out pretty good. So it hasn't fallen off yet. I ran it for about an hour, so it's working out okay. Next step is to get a pole over there and have it go triangle from there to there to there. That's the idea, at least. All right, guys, hope that helps some of you guys out. All right, so part of the version 3 here is I'm trying out these bow rollers. They're for boat trailers, and boat goes in here. So I seen one guy has really good success with them. So trying to apply these. For those that are wondering how I connected mine, it took me forever to figure it out. I'm like an hour from my nearest Home Depot, so it takes me forever to figure things out. So it's a little overkill. My bow rollers, I think, are 4 inches. I got 8-inch bolts. So what I did is I did a washer on the bottom and the top of the bow roller. Then did a nut in the middle to keep it loose so it spins. Because if you tighten it up, it won't spin. Then did another washer and a washer on this side, and then another nut. So it's 4 washers, 2 nuts, and 8-inch bolt. And this is what it looks like walking out of Home Depot. So like I said, I cinched these two together, these two nuts to the 2x4. I cinched these two together. I left maybe 2 or 3 millimeters of play right here. It rattles a little bit, but it spins. So hopefully that goes away once there's tension on the string. But the idea behind this is there's such a large sloped rubber inlet here that's supposed to keep the strings on a lot better, because I keep having problems where just over time the string stretches, however often it stretches, and it's falling off the track. So I think this gives us a little bit wider area than the bicycle wheel, which is only like an inch. So this is part of 3.0. We're about to mount it up and see what it does.
Here, version 3.0. So I have it set. I do have it cocked at an angle, just because I'm going from like 12 feet to 8 feet. So I mean, there is no tension on this line. You can see it's almost hitting the ground down there by that bag of food, and it's staying on there. So I'm pretty excited about this already. So yeah, for those that were wondering, I just put a regular strap. Luckily I already had a post, so I don't have to worry about it. So I strapped it to there. We're about to test it out. So it's not as quiet as it used to be. It doesn't roll as free as it used to, but it's working. Kind of hear, I had to put some WD-40 on it. Yeah, they go through pretty good. Wonder if I tighten that up a little bit, if it'll rattle a little less, but they seem to be going through pretty good. The good part is, if you look at the string, oh, there goes the loudness again. I gotta figure that out. Right here, I'll zoom in on the string, and you'll see that it barely deviates, which is pretty cool. You're gonna see it's coming down a little bit because the ghost is coming. Goes around, it comes back up. Pretty cool. I think it works. I just gotta figure out how to make it. Taking some adjustments. You can probably take that out. I went up there and tighten the gap up a little bit more. And I left a little play in there still, and I think if I take that little play out, it might not rattle so much. But yeah, we'll see. This is working fantastic though, so I'm really liking these bow rollers. I just wish I could figure out how to make it a better pulley. Well, there you go, guys. We're slowly working on it, and yeah, my next goal is to get it way over to that post. All right, version 3.0 is done. So made the adjustments over there and the adjustments over here. So change the pulley around, but now we got a new direction, baby. Now it flies over the cars. So he's gonna hit this pulley right here. He's gonna come back home, bounce off a couple cars. He's gonna make it a little higher. And they come back. I think I need more ghosts. There he's that way. There we go. We're out of version, I think, 3.5 now. 3.1, 3.5. We'll call it 3.5. So we still have the same layout. The difference is, there's two differences. I rewired the motor with heavy gauge wire, and now this thing is freaking flying. I don't know if you can see that wheel spinning or not, but it is flying. It's on fast speed now. The other differences I made also is I use those boat bow rollers. I think I showed you that before. The difference is now is I installed bearings in them. So I cut a hole in them the size of the bearing, and I installed bearings into them. And these things they're just cruising really good now. So I have bearings on this one, and I have bearings all the way on that one. So you can kind of hear them, but they're running so much smoother. So I think it's putting a lot less stress on the motor. And now this thing just flies. It's cruising. It doesn't fall off unless Charlie high-fives them, or Wednesday high-fives them. That's the only time these things fall off. But other than that, here it comes. Like, this thing is cruising, boy. Woo, look at this ghost.
Maybe like Daddy spins him in the butt.
wanted to add this last detail here. So I mentioned on my 3.5 versions there on the pulleys, I put bearings in. So this is what I used here. There's some cheap ones off Amazon. They were half-inch diameter, half-inch inner diameter. I think it was 1 1/8 or 1 1/4 outside diameter. And basically what I did is, let me pause and grab you the thing real quick here. Basically what I did is, these are those bow rollers, and they're half-inch inside diameter. So what I did is I basically just took a knife and traced around the outside of the bearing and cut it in. I forget what they are. They're not an inch thick. They're like a half-inch thick or something. So I cut in about just shy of an inch. So that way the bearings stick out a little bit. So then I had bearings on either side. And then that's what I bolted everything down to. So for those who wanted those additional details, I took my bow rollers, cut them out by hand, sunk in the bearings, put them on either side. And that's what's up there now, is those bow rollers with the bearings on them. Yeah, this thing's cruising. It's been running all day. Not any problems. She's a-going. It's a long video, but hey, get to see all my iterations on it. Skip and add whatever you want. Skip to whatever you want, I guess I should say. Happy Halloween.